Death doesn't like to be cheated. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the latest entry in a horror franchise that's been dormant for over a decade, Final Destination Bloodlines. But before we get started, please leave a like, and at the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. Final Destination Bloodlines starts in 1968, introducing us to Iris, a young, bright-eyed woman with her whole life ahead of her, played by Breck Basinger. Not related to Kim. When her boyfriend Paul, played by Max Lloyd-Jones, surprises her with a date to the Space Needle for the grand opening of their new restaurant, she reluctantly gets in the elevator with him and heads up almost 500 feet in the air. And in true Final Destination fashion, it's not long before a Rube Goldberg disaster happens and everybody dies in a creatively horrifying sequence. But that's just the premonition, because really, Iris managed to get everybody out in time. But like I said in the beginning, death doesn't like to be cheated.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved.
And for decades, he's been taking out the bloodlines of people that Iris saved on that day. Now he's getting to the last surviving family, Iris's, including her son Howard, played by Alex Zahara, his kids Eric, played by Richard Harmon, Bobby, played by Owen Patrick Joyner, and Julia, played by Anna Lohr, as well as her daughter Darlene, played by Raya Kilstedt, along with her two children Charlie, played by Tio Briones, and Stephanie, played by Caitlin Santa Juana, who also happens to be our main character. Sorry, I know that was a mouthful. And surprise, surprise, Stephanie is the one being haunted by nightmares of Iris's original premonition. So yeah, once again, it's a race against time to stop death and hopefully survive just a little bit longer.
Maybe death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Let me just say this up front. I've never been the biggest fan of this franchise. Most of these movies came out between my ages of like 3 and 15, which is just the right age to be very psychologically traumatized by some of the death scenes in these movies.
I remember! You know why? Because I've told it to a therapist about 8,000 times.
Final Destination 3 in particular, that one snuck up on me during a late night TV watch when I was just a kid, and I swear it has lived rent-free in my brain for years. Specifically the last 15 minutes with the impaling, the bisecting, and the derailing subway car. But besides the traumatic aspect of all of it, I've just never really been a big fan of the series. The suspense and kills were fun, but the characters were paper thin, the dialogue was trash, and the tone was so bleak and nihilistic that I always felt worse after watching those movies.
I'm ready. Depression. I'm ready. Depression.
Like, congratulations, death wins again. Yay? But somehow, after almost 15 years off, Bloodlines comes in swinging. And honestly, I think it's the best film in this entire franchise. First off, this film has the best premonition in the entire franchise. And that's a big claim considering the iconic logs on the highway scene from Final Destination 2. But this one, it masterfully builds dread and tension with little insert shots and creepy little red herrings before unleashing the most chaotic disaster this series has ever seen, and I am including the bridge collapse from 5. It's disturbing, it's clever, it's kind of funny, and it's paced to perfection. Sure, the momentum dips a little when we jump to present day and meet Stephanie, but once Richard Harmon's Eric enters the picture, things pick up fast.
Hey, 5-star review, yeah? Like and subscribe and all the things.
This dude is the MVP of the whole film.
I like this guy.
He's sarcastic, he's smart, he's actually likable, and he brings some much needed edge and personality to a franchise that's just been filled with cardboard cutouts. And that's the key difference here with this film. Personality. Instead of following a group of high school students or coworkers or just random people that are all just there to die, Bloodline centers us around an actual family with real history, real drama, real love for each other. And when they start dying, you actually feel something for once. It's not just, ooh, I can't wait to see how this guy bites it. It's, oh no, not him. And of course, the kills are still brutal and incredibly inventive. This series has always thrived on making you paranoid of everything, and this one is no different. They're constantly scanning the screen like, wait, is the ceiling fan about to fall? Is the blender about to explode? Is that pencil gonna fly across the room and impale somebody?
Something terrible is gonna happen!
And the movie thrives on that, and it loves to mess with you. Every scene is a setup. Every object is a red herring, and it doesn't help that almost every object that could kill somebody, there's a close-up insert shot of it to just make you feel that much more creeped out. And just when you think you know what's gonna happen and you know how someone's gonna die, you are wrong every single time. I mean, there's one character in this that is full-on taunting death the entire movie, and every time you think, well, this is it, nope, another fake out, another hilarious twist. It's genius. That actually leads me into my next point. This movie's way funnier than I expected. It doesn't go full horror comedy like another similar movie from recent, The Monkey, but the black humor here hits way more than it misses. Between self-aware nods to the franchise rules, Eric's hilarious one-liners, and Death's twisted sense of irony, I found myself laughing more than I have in any Final Destination movie. Which feels kind of weird, but in a good way?
I like it!
Now, before I wrap things up, I have to talk about the late, great Tony Todd. This was his final film before he passed away, and man, what a way to go out.
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
He doesn't just show up for a quick cameo like the past entries, he's actually given a moment. The directors let him improvise some of his final lines, and knowing that this was the last time we'd see him in this role, or in any role, it hit me way harder than I expected. I actually teared up. Rest in peace. You are a horror legend.
Good luck.
That said, I can't lie, the third act's a bit of a letdown for me. There's a shift where the characters end up at a hospital, and I think that whole sequence is the best part of the film, and then the film kind of nosedives after that. Things just kind of lose their steam. It feels like they ran out of creativity and were just trying to rush to the end of the story, with the climax especially feeling very rushed. But that ending? That's definitely going to go down in history as one of the more memorable conclusions to a Final Destination movie. I will say that. Overall, even with the kind of disappointing third act, Final Destination Bloodlines is the best film in the series. It finally delivers actual characters you really care about, emotional stakes, laugh out loud moments, incredible kill sequences, a standout performance from Richard Harmon, and an all-timer premonition to kick things off. The CGI may be a little too much at times, but the creativity and tension more than make up for it. And that's my review of Final Destination Bloodlines. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down the description below, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. They'll take you to my review of Clown in a Cornfield, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next week for my review of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.